So if our only directions are graph a function and it just gives you a rule, my numbers are -1, 0, and +1. You're required to have a negative and 0 and a positive. So why would you not pick the easiest numbers possible? And then I'm going to plug in my numbers. Based on what we know about rules, how do you suppose our table is going to change every time? How is our rule going to change every time? What do you think is going to happen? Start paying attention. 3 times -1 is -3. Take away 2. Oh, curses. I'm going to add the opposite. -3 plus -2 is
1.
-3 plus -2 is -5. 3 times 0 is 0. Take away 2 is -2. 3 times 1 is 3. Take away 1 is +1. How is my table changing every time? It's going up by how much? 3. Where do you see that in your rule? Remember, if it's going up or down by the same number every time you're multiplying, and wherever the 0 is, tells you this other number. I'm going to graph it. So 3 says, wait a minute, I need positives and negatives and positives and negatives. So I have to draw all of my axes. Do I have any labels other than X and Y? There's no story problem with this one. So you just have to label it X and Y. But you do have to label how you're going to count. I'm going to count by ones, but I'm just going to do 2 and 4 and -2. So I'm counting by ones, but I'm only labeling every other one because, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of labeling. It's required, but I'm not going to make it more work than is necessary. Notice my numbers are on the line because we're numbering lines, not spaces. And I had to go to at least -5 for Y. I actually kind of did overkill on my x-axis, but it was there, so I just labeled it. Okay? But you have to make sure there's enough space everywhere on both sides. I wouldn't have technically had to make this one quite so long. And then I'm going to go -1 in the Y, in the X direction, down to -5 and put a point. X is 0 means I'm stuck here forever, and I go down to -2. 1 goes up to 1. Here's my helpful hint. Today's lesson is called linear functions. So your graph should be which means my graph looks like what word's in the word linear? It's a straight line. So if when you graph it, it's not a straight line, you did the math wrong. Is this one continuous or discrete? Continuous or discrete? Can it be any value, continuous, or does it have to be only specifics, discrete? Which one? Does it have to be whole numbers? No. Could I plug in 0.725 in my equation and get a number out? Absolutely. And so this one, because there's no labels, continuous, which means I have to connect my dots. Okay? Which means I have to connect my dots like you do on Alex with your with the ruler, because it could be x is 1/2, x is 2/3, x is -0.6877. It could be any value, so once you put your dots on there, you're going to connect it. If you're terrible at straight lines, grab a ruler. They're over there. You just have to make sure you put it back.